have a go, go for it. So that's just it.
Talking about our topic, building habitable homes, you know, for some people, even most people, they believe that they are the owner of the house. So, I mean, so long I have my room, I have the sitting room, which most people know as the parlor, the kitchen, the convenience, that's habitable for me. So what exactly is your definition of habitable home?
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that question. When you're talking about habitable, you're talking about a place that is safe for the inhabitants.
Okay.
You're talking about a place that is healthy for the inhabitants.
Okay.
And you're talking about a place that will not be a nuisance to its community. So that's when it becomes habitable. Yes, a place that is not safe is not habitable. A place that is not healthy is not habitable. And a place, for example, that is put in the center of the road.
So it goes beyond the rooms.
Yes, it goes beyond the rooms.
Okay, and the interior design and all of that.
It goes beyond all that.
Oh, okay.
It goes beyond that. Before you can have a habitable either house or home, you need to ask yourself, is your house, is it going to be advantageous to the community? It is. You have to ask yourself that. And you have to ask yourself, is this house, even supposing we have built it and my family is living in it, are we going to be able to sleep well, sleep soundly? You are not afraid that one trailer or one truck can just be coming and the brake fails and it fired off and rightly inside your house. So those are the things. And before you can even say you have conveniently built a habitable home, during the rainy season, what happened? Do you know that some houses, the families don't go there during the rainy season? They have to vacate the house.
Yeah.
So, you have built a house. Is it habitable? A house is not supposed to be habitable at some seasons. Once you have built it, you're supposed to be able to live in it conveniently all the time. So that's exactly what we're talking about.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Shugbeson, talking habitable building. I just mentioned one that, okay, during the season, some people will have to vacate their houses because of reasons best known to all of us. Now, another angle to it is this. You know, some houses, when the rain falls, they will need to put buckets here and there for a particular reason. Maybe the roofs are leaking, the windows are not well placed, and some other things like that. Now, is that how you people as a town planner or an architect check on all of these things before erecting some buildings?
That your question is all encompassing, but let me try and see if I can really break it down. Now, the town planners will tell you, before any community really springs up, there must have been some planning. Okay. So let me use the word we understand. There must have been some urban and regional planning.
Okay.
In the course of that, we will say, okay, this area is meant for industrial. Good. This area is residential and all that.
Yeah.
Now, and in that wise, where the road's supposed to be would have been earmarked. Okay. Now, where the building's supposed to be erected would have been earmarked.
Okay.
Now, so when the town planners have really done that, and there will always be put in place a control that this man, because he has money, does not just come and say, okay, now I have money, I can extend my land, and okay, this is a free place. Okay, they call it road, but as far as I'm concerned, it's not a road. I want my house to run across that place. Okay. It will be violating that plan that has been done. Yeah, okay. So that's why we have that control, and that's what the town planners make sure that they control that so that will not happen. Okay. Now, but you have to consult an architect before. I've spoken about the community now, the planning. But now, your own building, if an architect wants to do it for you, by virtue of his or her training, he knows where to put the spaces. Okay. You will not just say, okay, this is my house, I can put the kitchen anywhere. Once you put it anywhere, of course, you are going to suffer some consequences. Now, then you cannot just say, okay, this is my sitting room, this is where I'm going to put it. So, when you consult a professional, in that instance an architect, he will make sure he does it rightly for you. Now, the fact that the planner has done well, the whole area is well planned, and the house is being built in the right place, which the architect has already done for you, does not necessarily mean that your house cannot leak. Because you need to use the right materials. The materials, the architect could have specified it in your drawing. But in the course of putting up the building, if the right materials are not used, of course, the house will leak. If the installation is not done the right way it should be done, of course, it's going to be leak. So you are talking about the professionals as designers. Then you're also talking about the professionals as constructors, the people that will put it up for you. So if it is not properly put up, even if you have spent millions of naira, you still have those defects and those leakages. And lastly, all these materials, they have lifespan. So if any material has already expired, so it's going to leak. So that's why we always have rooms for renovation. That's why you have rooms for changing some materials, and so that you don't have leakage. I wouldn't know whether I answered your question.
You did well. Before you go further, sir, is there a difference between an architect and a draftsman?
Oh, they are not even in the same league.
Oh, they are not?
Yeah, they are not.
But
they are not
unfortunately,
in the same
we use them interchangeably.
league. It's unfortunate that we use them. Let me say, during the colonial times, there were some people that worked in the DO's offices, and they learned how to draft. You understand? The fact that they learned how to draft does not make them an architect.
Because some will call themselves architects, and they're draftsmen, the right sense of it.
It is because of the ignorance of whosoever that consult them. And there are always consequences. Because they are used to, this is how we used to do it. You understand? And that's exactly how, I had a very wonderful experience some times back. There was a client that wanted to erect a building. And he just went to his bricklayer. This one was not even a draftsman, just went to his bricklayer. And the bricklayer, oh, you want to do this thing? I have a drawing that we did somewhere. Let's come and bring it. And the client said, after all, I'm not going to pay anybody. And they lifted that drawing and they started working. Unfortunately, where they did that drawing was a relatively flat land. Now, this land that they're working on is a slopey site. So the man has spent some quite of money before they realized it, and they now started changing, and of course, he spent a lot of money, and they could not even still achieve their dream. You understand? So a draftsman, who is an architect? For somebody to be called an architect, he must have gone to school, spend minimum of 6 years. And the fact that he has even spent 6 years does not make him an architect. He still has to go through training to becoming a professional. That's why when you are reading so you read registered and licensed. So until he's registered and is licensed to practice, he's not an architect, even if he has PhD in architecture. Until you are registered and licensed, you can't call yourself a town planner, even if you have PhD in urban and regional planning. So you have to go through TOPREC, you have to go through ACON before you can say, yes, I'm a professional. And you know the kind of training you would have gone through before you get to that place.
Okay, now you've clearly identified the difference between draftsman and architect. Now, I want you to do the same thing with town planning and architecture, because with this explanation now, you've talked about their job coming in beforehand, before the building commences. So now some people might be getting it confused. So give us another expose on the difference.
All right. Now, as a town planner, you are trained. The training differs, but in this discussion now, the town planner I want to use a language that everybody listening to us will be able to understand. The town planner will do a land use of, in this area, for example, 2 acres of land. You can only have residentials there. Even though that one too has hierarchies, but let's just assume you can only do residential here. You would have planned that area, where the residences will be.
Okay.
Some residences, if it's a large residences, we would have planned where police posts will be, or police station, where hospital will be, where schools will be. So it does that micro thing. So he would have done that. You understand? Because of his training, he would have done that. Now, so when the developers now, okay, I've bought this parcel of land. My parcel of land falls within where they said residential, that is residential. Then the architect will take your survey plan. Madam, you want to have 5 bedroom. Okay, let me see whether the size of your land will take 5 bedroom. That's the work of an architect. He will come back to you and say, Madam, I'm sorry, with all that you have told me that you want, for your house to have 5 bedrooms, you will need to go 3 floors for you to have what you want. The architect will now go into the regulations that has been formulated by the town planner. In this area, can I go this height?
Okay.
There's some areas you can't go beyond 2 floors. There's some areas you can't go beyond. All those ones would have been done. You understand? So the architect will say, Madam, I'm sorry, you cannot go this height. You can only go this height. And because of that, we will advise that you will have a 4 bedroom. So that advice would have been given to you.
And if I remain adamant?
If you remain adamant, well, the architect has 2 choices. Number 1, after he has advised you, he will get you the minimum sizes. That is, you are saying you want 12 meter by 12 meter room. He now tells you, if you still want this, you may not get more than 6 meter by 6 meter size of a room.
Okay.
By virtue of his training, he can even do that. You understand? So, and don't forget, the town planner, we have the policy makers, we have town planners in 2 ways. The private town planners that work as consultants, and the town planners in the office, Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development. That they've already done the policies and the guidelines. So, if I now say, okay, because of this land, your room cannot take more than 2 by 2 meters. And the policy says the minimum room is 3 meters by 3.6 meters. There's no way you will get that design. Even the architect will not do it. But let's even assume that he does it. You won't get it approved. Of course. You won't get it approved.
It's my house. I can decide to make the the sizes of the room to my taste.
Truly, it is your house. But that it is the work of the government to make sure that it protects all its citizens. There is a minimum standard of living that every citizen should be exposed to. So, and that's why those policies were made. That's why those guidelines are made. So the architect knows it, and he will use it as a guide to give you. So if he gives you anything less, and you cannot submit it to get government development, then you cannot build, because you are not even supposed to build without getting your planning approval. That's a statement I'm making now. There is no building that's supposed to be erected without the government development permit.
Okay, Mr. Ashogbeson, in having a habitable home, what are the procedures from scratch? And who should be involved professionally?
A habitable house, of course, you look for a land, you get your land. There are different processes of getting the land. We are not really talking about that. When you get your land, of course, you call in a surveyor, a land surveyor.
Okay. That's the first thing to do.
Yeah, that's the first thing. Good. Does your survey plan for you. So, at the background that you are getting a surveyor, it is assumed that that land has already been designed and well laid out by a town planner.
Why you are mentioning it, please be explicit, a land surveyor. Because I quite understand that aside a land surveyor, there's always a quantity surveyor.
We have 3 surveyors.
So
we have land, we have estate, and we have quantity.
Okay, good.
You understand? So let's
assume know the role of each
let's assume that where OGTV is located is a parcel of land.
Okay.
The land surveyor will first do a perimeter survey of the whole land.
The whole land.
After he has done that, the town planner will move in and do the planning.
Okay.
You understand? You will subdivide the land into how it should be used.
Yeah.
You see some land, a plot of land could be, for example, it could be 30 meters by 36 meters. That's the old size they were using in Ibarajari. You see that in those days, the Ibarajari land, one plot is very big.
Yeah.
Unlike the one that the families are selling. The families, they could say, okay, our own land is, let me use the language they normally use, it's 60 by 120, because they always use imperial. You understand? They will say that. So, if that has been done, and it's within the subdivision that the town planner has done, you understand me now? Then you take it to the architect. The architect will design it for you.
Okay.
And now make sure that it goes back to the ministry that is in charge, that's Ministry of Fiscal Plan and Urban Development, to get a development permit. You get government involved.
Okay.
That this house that I want to build, the architect has done this thing for me. I want to believe it's in conformity with the guidelines that have been set. So once the government permit is given, then you now go to site, you call in your builder.
Okay.
You can see now, because we have 7 professionals in the built environment. So you get in your builder, and the builder gets it done for you. So, of course, you get state certifications. Then once the last certification has been done, then you move in. So, at that point in time, if you do not need the services of the remaining professionals, so be it. But if you are not the one that is going to live in that house, then you need the service of an estate surveyor and valuer.
Okay, why is
Because
that?
he's the one that is in charge, that is going to either rent or lease your house for you.
I can
You
do that
understand?
myself, can't I?
Well, you can do that, but if you do not know the tricks of the profession, then you can get burnt. And that's why we have some people that is the area that they are trained.
Maybe I can go for the services of agent.
Yes, the agent does that, but see, what differentiates professionals from these side people, agent or draftsman, is that do you know that any licensed professional is not only responsible to himself or to the client, is also responsible to the federal government of Nigeria. Because that license that he's holding now, in particular because of your statement, the estate surveyor and the agent, if the agent collects money and run away, you have to be pursuing him. If an estate surveyor and valuer collects money and decides to run away, you have his institution to run to. They will seize his license.
Oh, good.
They know how to get him done, and they know how to hold him accountable. But an agent, who holds an agent accountable? Nobody. So it's always very advisable to always patronize the professionals, because it's like, let me say this, they say they have a tail that you can pull.
Yeah.
But these professionals come at a cost. A
Of
cost that an average Nigerian cannot afford in most cases, which is why an average Nigerian would rather go to a draftsman than come to an architect. An average Nigerian would rather employ the service of an agent than an estate surveyor. And the list is endless. So do you think you charge too high?
I will use the right word. An average Nigerian can patronize any professional.
Okay.
If you look at the immediate cost and the overall cost. For example, you have a parcel of land that falls in a floodplain area. Mm-hmm. You understand? If you want to buy that land through an estate surveyor and valuer, he will not even take you there in the first instance, because he would have known by virtue of his training. He would have gone through the design for that area, and he would have, madam, don't buy this land.
It's from area.
But an estate agent is not trained in that area. He just saw, oh, madam, there is this land, do come and buy. Is this amount of money? So he takes you there. You buy it, you spend your money. And by the time you begin to build your house there, you discover that you will spend 6 months in the house and 6 months outside. Now, if you take your architect there, your architect will also see it and will advise you. At this place, there is no way my design will be approved by the ministry here. So this is the reason. You understand? So what are you paying for? You are paying for his training. You are paying for his experience. So now Is it not better for you to have paid that token for him before you run into that trouble? Or instead of you paying him, for example, 10 naira, and you see a draftsman that take 5 naira, or in some cases 3 naira, he does it for you, take his own money, go. Now you have built it, and flood comes, and you overrun your house, and the whole money is now wasted. Which one is better? Which one is more expensive? Is it the architect or the draftsman? Is it the essence of or the agent?
That is, if education is expensive,
then you can try ignorance.
That's been penny wise, pound
foolish. I didn't want to say that. You are the one that's. It's penny wise, pound foolish. See, professionals, yes, they may appear as if they're a bit on the high side, but you will get the quality.
yes,
You will get the quality. And at the end of the day, you will have to smile. You understand? Because they would have gone through they would have taken you through the processes, and at the end of the day, you will know that, oh, what I've done, yes, I can smile and I can be rest assured.
Then as a registered surveyor, registered
Registered town planner and architect.
registered town planner.
Yes.
What is your institution doing? Because if you look at most of the new sites today, you will see buildings that you will be like, is there any approval for this? You understand? Some will build, okay, maybe the person intends to build, say, a 4-bedroom apartment, but presently is able to afford just a room. And you look at that, but must you do this at all costs? Simply because you want to run away from the hula baloo of your landlord or something like that. You see so many unspeakable buildings today. So what is your institution doing about it?
Our institutions are doing so many things about that. From the town planning perspective, we call it advocacy. We run lots of advocacy. We go to, when I was the chairman of the NITP in Ogun State, we went to different settlements, trying to sensitize them that there are ways to come up with a building. But you see, that question is it's a very broad question, because there are so many things that are interplaying that really brings about that. You could have your building in phases. You understand? If you want to build 4-bedroom, you could start by building 1 bedroom and kitchen and toilet. If it has been properly planned. If it has been properly planned, you will discover that no matter how you look at it, even if it is just a bedroom, it will still look nice. You understand? You know that this is the amount of money you have, because the economy is smiling at everybody. So, and your landlord is giving you problem. So there is nothing bad in you. Okay, I desire to have a 4-bedroom house. You go through proper channel. You go through the architects. They design it for you. You tell them, I don't have money to have all these rooms
At a go.
They will advise you. Okay, you can do it in phases. The conveniences, the toilet is important, the kitchen is important, and you can start with a room. They will design it in that way that as you are constructing in phases, it will still look nice. But don't forget, the documentation would have been done as if it is a 4-bedroom you are putting up. It is just a construction that will now be coming up in phases. A professional would have planned that if you involve your professional. But at the institute level, what we are doing is advocacy. We are trying to go to some communities and let them know that, okay, this is how to do it. Then some potential developers that approach us, we always advise them, this is the best way to do it. But you know, we are Nigerians. There are some Nigerians, after you would have given them the right advice, they will still go ahead and do what they want to do.
Okay.
So,
Thank you so much for coming. So K is
very interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But I have just this quick question.
Okay.
Why did you decide to add town planning, to what you do? Why can't you just focus on being an architect?
You know, the two are relatively very close. And right from when I was in school, I knew that I'm going to be a vested professional. So I just decided to go for the professions within the built environment.
Okay, great.
Yes.
We'd love to have you again. I hope you'll be back.
Well, I'll be glad to honor that. Thank you.
Many thanks for coming
so
on
much.
the program, Mr. Adefela Shugbeson,
Yeah.
a licensed and registered architect, licensed and registered town planner, and also the immediate past chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners in Ogun State chapter. Interesting conversation we had with him. You know, don't be penny wise, pounds foolish. Involve the right professionals when constructing your buildings. Trending is up next. Please stay with us.